friends, welcome to my channel Chic and Savvy, where we talk about all things relating to planning and budgeting. My name is Carissa, and today we will be budgeting my paycheck for the third week of June. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and count our cash. Put this in order. Perfect. We are going to be budgeting $179. So let's go ahead and count this cash. We have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. And then we also are going to be putting these three $5 bills into our monthly challenge. I think I forgot to put it in last week because I didn't film. So we're going to go ahead and do that this week. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at my wallet, and then we'll see what we have left over in there. So like I said, I didn't film last week. I went to my cousin's wedding, so I just decided to not film because it was going to stress me out, and I just kind of wanted to relax. So I did cash stuff my envelopes. I just didn't film anything, and so if things look updated, I'll go ahead and review those when we get to those envelopes. But I kept these $1 back here because they were left over from last week, and I didn't put them in my $1 savings challenge. So we have $3 from last week. We'll put that in there. Okay, and let's go ahead and look at the rest of our wallet. So spending has nothing, eating out has nothing, fun times has nothing, self-care has a few dollars. So self-care and household get stuffed once a month, and I did stuff self-care last paycheck. And it looks like we have $3 also that we're going to be putting in our $1 savings challenge. And the rest of these don't have anything, so we're starting fresh. So spending is going to get $10. I budget $30 to spend. Me and my husband both get 30, but I like to keep 20 on my debit card and 10 in my wallet. Eating out is going to get $30, so it's going to be a 20 and a 10. And eating out, oh, that was eating out, and then next is fun times. Fun times is also going to get 30, so we'll do a 20 and a 10. And so we're gonna skip self-care and household because those get stuffed once a month, and then donations gets 5. Okay, so our wallet is all good to go for the week. Next, let's do my high priority binder. So first is emergency fund. So it is one of our goals to have $500 in emergency fund and $500 in 1 month ahead. Last pay, or the pay before, we were super close to that goal, but things happened while we were on our trip and just stuff with family also. So I did have to take some money out. So emergency fund still has $513, so it still has $500 in the bank and $13 in cash. So that one is fully funded for now. 1 month ahead, we were at $450, but I had to take $400 out because we unexpectedly had to rent a car. We were planning to Uber during the trip, but the airport we flew into was about 40 minutes away from where we were staying, and we figured that the Uber wasn't going to cost that much, but we got to the airport in the middle of the day, And when we got there, the Uber was like $80, and then in like 10 minutes it climbed to $100, and then it climbed to like $200, which was ridiculous. So we decided just to rent a car because we were going to be having to drive around anyways, and we were going to have to go back and forth to the airport like 4 times because my brother was also flying in. So it just didn't make sense, and we didn't want to chance it. So we just decided on a whim to rent a car, so that's where that money came from. So I'm grateful that we had the money to rent the car, but it stinks because I had to pull it and we were so close to 500 already. So we're just going to slowly build this back up. I'm going to use our monthly challenges to help with this, and I'm going to just use whatever extra money. I'm not going to dedicate a whole lot because we do want to move forward with trying to save all of our money towards debt and buying a house. So this is a priority, but I'm not going to dedicate a lot of money like I have been. We're just going to see what we can do to try to build this back up. So Future Home is getting stuffed this week. And we're going to be stuffing $5. So we should have $272. So this is another envelope that took a hit due to the trip. So we have a lot of family stuff going on. I'm not going to get into the details, but me and my husband paid for quite a bit of stuff during the trip that were unexpected. And so this is another thing that we took, another envelope that we took money out of. But again, we're grateful that we had the money to do it, and that was the point. We would have, if we didn't have this money, we would have had to figure it out and charge it onto a credit card or something. So having this money was actually a really big lifesaver, so that way we didn't put ourselves into more debt. So you know what, I'm happy about that. I'm sad because the money is gone, but I'm also happy because we had that money, and that's the point of saving. So we're gonna go ahead and put 5. So we have 100, 200, 250, 260, 265, 270, 271, 272. And that is in Future Home. And then Future Family is also gonna get 5. So this should have 60, oops. So we have 55, 60. Car maintenance is going to be getting 10. So I probably will be getting a car wash tomorrow. So that'll probably cost us 15 bucks, but we'll see. So we have 20, 30, 40, 45. This one we also have to start bulking up because our registration, I think, is due in November. So, and that's, our car isn't new, but it's newer. So we're gonna need, I have to look at what I paid last year, but I wanna say it was around like $500. So definitely need to start saving for that. Subscriptions is gonna get 5. So my goal is to have most of our subscriptions go annual by the time we move into our house. And I think I added up what we could move to annual, and it was around $500. No, it was less than that. Maybe it was $400 to move all of our, not all, most of our subscriptions to an annual. So that's the goal for this envelope, to do that before we move. So that way we're not paying for subscriptions throughout the year. And then we are not investing right now, so this envelope doesn't have anything. Perfect. So next we'll move to our low priority. So this envelope we were using for our trip to Oregon. Any money that we put in here, we moved that money as a payment towards our travel credit card. So this week is the last time I'm going to stuff it. We are gonna keep this envelope as it is, but I'm gonna create a new envelope in here for an extra debt payment, and then we're gonna put any extra money that we're putting towards credit cards into that envelope instead, so that way we can start building this up for another trip in the future. So we are gonna be stuffing $40. So we're just gonna put it in this envelope for now. And then we have one more week of June, and then I'll go ahead and take the money out of here completely, make the payment, and then this will go back to its regular travel envelope. Gifts is going to be getting $5. So a lot of the envelopes in here are starting from scratch. So we don't have any more trips planned for the rest of the year. Of course, maybe some things might pop up, but we don't have anything currently planned. So we really are trying to focus on saving more money. So a lot of these envelopes are just starting back to zero, which is fine. That's just how life goes. So you'll start seeing us regularly put money back into our sinking funds. And I'm so happy about that, so we can get back on track. So home isn't getting stuffed, and it has 0. Dental has 0. Holidays is getting skipped, and it has 15. Christmas is getting 5, and it has 100. So this one we have been consistently stuffing, even if it's just a little bit. So now this has 105. And buffer is getting skipped. Okay. So that is everything in our low priority. Next, we'll do our personal binder for me and my husband. Okay, so I don't know, only thing getting stuffed in here is his haircut envelope, and that is in the back. So haircuts is getting $5, and he did get a haircut, and he used the money in here. So we loved actually taking the money out of here and not having to dip into any other category. So this is definitely working for us. Perfect. So that is everything in my personal binder. And lastly, we have our savings challenges. So our savings challenge is our $10 challenge. And I got this from the Aesthetic Dollar. So each bubble is $10. Our goal is $480. Probably really $500. We want to use this towards our house in some way. So our goal is to have this envelope finished by the time we buy our house, which is most likely going to be at the end of the year. We'll see. So this week we're going to be doing another $10 circle. We'll put our 10. So we have 100, 200, 220, 230, 240, 250. So with this, we are halfway through. So that's actually really exciting. Savopoly. So last week when I didn't film, I actually did roll and I hit 3. So before that we were on 12. I rolled and hit a 3. And then this week I rolled and I landed on 4. So we're going to be saving $4 this week. We're getting a little bit of a break, but I get this savings challenge from the LittleBirdieCananda. You can find it on her Etsy shop. So we don't count this money until the end of the year, but we're going to go ahead and put $4. Let me take some of these better looking ones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think what I decided, or me and my husband decided to do with this money, is this is actually going to go towards Christmas, which is really good because I think with this challenge, the goal is to save around $1,000, and that'll really help us. So I think that's where that money is going to go at the end of the year. Now our monthly challenge. So last week I put $5 in here and I did color in one of the icons. Go ahead and put this away. So I colored in the little Father's Day. It looks like a little card. So today we are actually going to be stuffing 3. Oh no, I budgeted 2 for this week. And then last week I was actually supposed to budget more and I didn't. So I'm actually going to budget 3 more icons. So in totality, or in total, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to color in 5 icons. So let me color them in and then I'll show you guys what they look like. So I finally finished. That took so long. But I colored in 5 icons. So we have the Juneteenth one. We have a funky tie. My dad always had funky ties growing up, so I thought that was really cute to add that in. We have some ice pops, engagement rings, wedding rings, and a summer banner. So I love the way it's turning out. I think it's so cute. So we should have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yes. So next week we will finish this challenge. So I make this challenge myself on Canva. I used to make it $60, but I decided to move it down to $50. So that way it was easier for me so I could budget for other things. And I just think it's so cute. I just pick icons that are relevant to me and what my month looks like. But I'm thinking of just making a generic one to just have you guys download it as a freebie if you want to, and just add it to my description box. So let me know if that's something that would be cool. I might just start doing that. So that way you can follow along and do the challenge too. But we should finish with this next week. And then I will be adding this money to our 1 month ahead envelope. And then from then on, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it that way. I might start adding it to our house fund, but we'll see how that goes. All right, and so the rest of these ones are going to go into my $1 savings challenge. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this challenge, I was going to just collect them until the end of the year, but I decided that I'm going to just put these in a different envelope of my choosing at the end of the month, because I think that will just help me overall with saving. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what you hear in the background, I feel like that might be my dad outside, but I'm not sure. So we're just gonna wrap this up really quick. So that is all that I have for this week's cash stuffing, but I want to thank you all for being by my side throughout this journey, and I can't wait to see where life takes us. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, friends.